Hey guys, what's up, and welcome to another episode of Brew and Build. Today is going to be a very different episode. I'm just going to consider this a half episode for a couple reasons, which we're going to be getting into. So, firstly, you can see some grass has been laid here, and wonderful. And it's morning. That never happens when I start recording. Firstly, a lot of work has been done, which I will take a look at here quickly. But I have some slightly bad slash sad slash leads to good, but right now bad news. So my computer, I think, is dying. I believe it's either the power supply or the motherboard is pretty much shot, or at least starting to be shot. So the issue is, I believe that it's every part in my computer except for three parts, I believe, are well into their adulthood, very much 7 to 8 year old parts. And so that is that needs to be fixed because many of them are probably on their last leg. Honestly, so to give you a perspective, my graphics card, if you know graphics cards, they're coming out with the 3080, the GeForce NVIDIA, whatever, 3080 RTX, whatever. Mine is a 760. I believe it's a GTX 760. At the time, very good card. Now, not so much. So it still does well, but it's got 2 gigs of memory, and that's about it. And it's definitely not doing. It could do better. It could do better. My processor is also a 4770K Intel i7. So it was really good at the time. Not so much now. Also, all the grass has led to these guys popping up, which I'm really sad you can't actually make them your cats anymore. They just become friendly. Like, I think this one is friendly towards me. Yeah, because I fed it fish and I thought it was going to be a cat. Not a thing anymore. Anyhoozle. So I am going to be upgrading my PC here in the next week or two. So I'm not going to be able to make a video for the next week or two. And so just wanted to warn you about the potential dry spell of stuff. But this also leads me to a question that I want to ask you. If I can't make brew and build type of videos for a couple weeks, what would you like me to do for videos? I've got a couple ideas that I'll share with you. But if you have any ideas that you've seen or would like me to tackle, definitely let me know down below in the comments. But the couple ideas that I've had is, the first main one is I'm going to be working a lot on texture pack stuff in the next couple weeks, because even if the issue with my computer is it's randomly shutting down, which isn't good for a Minecraft world. Like right now, the only reason I'm in this world is because I just made a fresh full backup of pretty much everything. And so I'm not really that worried if this world gets corrupted or something because it randomly blue screens and shuts down. I already have a backup. I'm not that worried. I'm not building anything today. I'm just talking. So that's the main issue. So I'm not going to be playing in this world for the next week or two until I actually get the computer upgraded. So I can work on texture pack stuff though. Even if my computer decides to shut down in the middle of me making a texture, it's not the end of the world. I can remake the texture. It's not that big of a deal. Plus, Adobe's really pretty much great about having recovery files and all that stuff, so I wouldn't even necessarily lose. So I'm going to be working on a lot on texture pack stuff in the next couple weeks, and I can show you some things currently that I have been working on. But I wanted to ask, would you find it interesting, I suppose, if I made videos that showed sort of the process that I go through when I'm making a texture? I've got a few different, like, some of these things are not that intensive to go through. They're like not that involved of textures, but one that I'm currently working on that is pretty involved is this dude. This is such a pain to deal with. So making this have an animation is such a pain. And so as you can see, I've made a new texture for the front of it. The sides and the back and all that stuff is not changed yet. It will eventually, but This is currently what I've got. You've got a little bit of log action going on inside. I think it's kind of fun. I don't know, it's more unique, it's more us, but the animation itself is interesting. Let me actually we'll just do this. If we take the sticks and then the netherrack, so we've got a nice little animation. And right now it's just a 3-frame animation. It's not that interesting. I would like to make it more interesting. More, I guess, fluid. Right now it just goes between 3 different frames. Not that cool. But with this could be an interesting time lapse. And so I wanted to kind of get your perspective. Would you like to see this in the way of a time lapse where I'm actually discussing kind of my process or like what I'm wanting from the texture? Because I've always thought about doing that as kind of a little series as to like to say like, oh look, okay, we've got stone here. I want to add some different variations. Let's go through together and see what we can do and kind of like discuss like what I'm wanting from my textures. Because I kind of do it in a black box and I thought it could be kind of fun to explore it with you guys. So there's that. Could do that sort of thing, like a texture pack making video type of thingamajiggy. The other one, I don't really have an idea. It's kind of just like I've seen. Also, look at this overlay. Yes, baby. Thank you to Drathmorg for doing a lot of the legwork on this. Now, some of the grass textures are his currently. I will be replacing them. A lot of the textures that you may be seeing that are, well, no, there's not too many. Just the grass mainly. You've got these like denser blocks right here. That's Drathmorg stuff. So I will be replacing a lot of this stuff with my own textures. But he's figured out a lot of the code. So thank you to him for figuring that out. Also, you like this platform? I was going to do this in a time lapse, all of this in a time lapse. But with the way my computer is, I just don't, I figured just showing it like this is probably better than actually trying to render videos right now. I don't think my computer would like that. So yeah, this the road kind of comes up now and plateaus here. This is where all the guild stuff is going to be. Thank you again. Also, all your ideas on the guilds, man, oh man, that was awesome. I love all the ideas that you gave me. They're really cool. But the other idea that I was gonna say that is like a Minecraft related Minecraft related content that's just not in this world. Essentially, like looking at a block or something and being like, okay, maybe how could we fix this or something, like looking at netherite and being like, okay, netherite kind of sucks, how could we fix it? It's a little bit more topical, not something that's necessarily like build worthy type of stuff, but could be interesting. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are about that in the comments or any other ideas you may have. One texture I wanted to show you though, I've got some nice overlays, but look at this path texture. Oh, I just love it. I think it's so good. I love this texture. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe I'm a loon, but I love it. The goal of the path texture was to make it look more like dirt. And that may seem silly, but the old path texture to me looked more like trodden on grass rather than an actual like dirt path. So I wanted to try and make my own texture. And this is probably one of the first textures that I've made that was purely starting from entirely scratch. Usually I start with like the vanilla texture and then kind of add onto it and change it, kind of like mishmash it around with other things. But this was a from scratch texture. And I'm happy with it. I think it looks pretty cool. I really actually like it, especially when you get to using it on the grass. Where you get kind of like the overlays going on, like if you get like this pathway going here, like I think that looks pretty dang good. Well, put that put that back. But I think that looks pretty good. Oh, I have grass light levels are active in this pack, I guess. Maybe I copied them over when I copied some of this overlay files. Huh, I kind of like it. I'll have to check and see if he's okay with me putting it in this pack, because maybe I can figure out how to edit it, because maybe it gets a little too dark. But I don't know. That was kind of fun. I liked it. Is the sky different? Yeah, I think the sky's different. Huh. Oh yeah, no, I never made that sun. That's not a sun that I made. Actually, I don't even think I made the original sky texture. In fact, I don't think Drath made his texture. I think I remember him saying something about he found it in an old legacy pack. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. If it's not his and it's not a texture pack that's like in use anymore, I could get used to using it. Kind of cool. What? Interesting. I don't know if that's normal, but that was interesting. But anyways, so that is the issue that we're dealing with right now. That is the problem I have is I don't have any way to really play this game without fear of this world dying. So yes, that is basically what is going to be covered in this video. So if you have any, whoa, hold on, something's all right. So not all the overlays are. I probably need to make that so it's just effective on the top. Noted. Okay, but to sort of wrap this video up, I guess I'll kind of bring you through this area that I've worked on, and kind of just show it to you. So if we go over to the bridge, yeah, right here, and so everything's been brought up by 1, and so all of this is all on the same level. I think that's fine. We can have some flat spots, but the main thing I wanted to do was to make the pathway here go this way and go down, and so it just goes down by 1, but it adds a lot. I think having everything go down by 1 just adds a bunch of variation as to what you're seeing. Like you see the path go down, and I think it's just going to feel much nicer, especially seeing that there's a hill right there, and then this is a sort of flat area here. And then, like I said, this path wraps on up here. The castle's keep manor, whatever doodad thing, is going to be right here. And so the bridge is going to be there, not too high. And then on up is this is where the guilds are going to be, as I said before. The other bridge is going to be right there. And we may be able to fit 3 guilds into that area, I think. But anyways, this is where the other bridge is going to be. This being brought up has made this feel so much better as well. I was able to extend these bits so they were actually wider. Before they were like 2 or 3 wide. They weren't that wide. Now they feel much better, I think. And then this area is nice as well. And then, as you can see, didn't get all the way done, but I did get a fair amount of it done. And so I don't know what's going to be on this little hill here. Could be just houses or something. But it goes on down right there. We're going to have like a pathway that goes up that way. Then another part of the road's going to be here. You also get a nice vision right here. Extended the path, and it's going to go right down this way. And this is where this other path is going to go, but did not finish that out. What I did finish was this road. So the road's going to go right here. And it gets nice and curvy, and I think it feels pretty nice. It's a nice, natural, sloped feeling going all the way down. Then it kind of flattens out right here, and I think it looks pretty nice. And as you can see, we are actually above the stone, but I think that's fine. I think it overall is fine. And I think, honestly, look at the view from this. Like that, I think adds so much flair to this area. Would you just die? Thank you. I think it adds a lot of flair, and it's going to be actually very, very nice. So most of this is going to be flat like it is here, but we are going to have a more natural sloped and a little bit less flatness right on this area here. I think overall it's going to be pretty decent. And so that is what it looks like so far. Obviously still tons of stone and, well, not stone, but tons of dirt to place. But we are well on our way, and I think this is gonna be nice. And so finally, last thing to wrap this video up is I want to jump into the texture pack world just to showcase some of the textures I've been working on a bit more in depth, so you can see the overlays and stuff that I've currently got. All right, so we're gonna do this lickety split. So obviously here is the path again. This is not my texture. This is from another pack. Not sure what pack it is, but this is from a separate pack, and I want to essentially emulate this because I really like what this diorite looks like. You'll have to let me know what your thoughts are on this, if you like it, dislike it, etc. because I really like it. I think it's a pretty nice looking, almost cobblestoney texture for diorite. The fences have all changed, and I am actually really liking what they look like. So I've tried to go with more of a log sort of look for the actual post itself, and then a bit more of a wood texture for the connecting boards. So oak is a little bit more of the similar texture all throughout. Spruce is very distinct of being this log texture and then the spruce middle. But I think that that looks pretty good. Same with the birch. This actually makes, because I don't use birch that much in like normal builds. I usually use birch in like tree builds if I'm making a birch tree. And so this actually looks pretty dang good when it comes to like birch trees. You can get some nice limbs going on. The jungle wood was a little interesting to work with, and I actually ended up using the composter texture for the middle section. I think it actually looks pretty good, goes well with the color palette, and I think it looks pretty nice. So let me know, do you like the composter color for the jungle planks? Because we could end up kind of switching to that being more the texture color for jungle planks. I'm not that sold on it, but I do like the fence texture nonetheless. Acacia is very similar to the oak down there, but I didn't want to do gray because we use acacia in so many different ways using the orange. So I opted for more of an orange bark rather than a gray bark like the acacia normally has. I think it looks pretty good. It overall just adds a little variation to it. The dark oak, very similar to the spruce, but because everything is pretty much the same color, it goes a little bit more cohesively. And then these woods are a little bit interesting, the nether woods. So I tried to make this blend well with the red nether brick as well as our red here, and I think overall it looks pretty decent. A little veiny looking, and I honestly don't use this texture like ever anyways. And the same goes with this. This is pretty busy, of course, but the idea was when you're using it with the post, it has the same squiggle as the door and the trap door that we have. It has the same squiggly pattern type of stuff going on as the door and the trap door, which currently I can't flip this up because I've got drafts textures in here that I need to replace with my own. But nonetheless, it has the same squiggle, and I don't use this too often, so I don't think it necessarily affects building too much. If it does, obviously we can just kind of replace it and make it similar to this, or just purely our wood texture. Now getting into the overlays, here is a good look at many of the overlays. So some of them are complete, some of them are not. I need to go through and complete the puzzle to have. I want to add a few different leaves kind of falling over onto the other side. The gravel fully made and now looking good. I think that looked pretty nice. Dirt also made, coarse dirt, similar vein, made. Grass is done, and then the mycelium, this is currently drafts overlay texture. It's a bit everywhere, and so I'm gonna probably be shortening everything and making it not extend so much. But I think so far, this is a good thing to go off of. Now these are textures that I would like to add some overlays to. Some are already there, some are not. Currently granite overlays onto stone, and overall I think it's fine. The andesite, I need to, this is draft texture using the regular vanilla. I need to change it so the colors match up, and I'm gonna probably make it so little bricks are extending over, similar to how cobblestone has the little cobble pieces extending over. This is also a draft texture, so will be changed to my own. Most of these currently overlays are draft textures. I'm just giving you an idea as to what I'm going to be working on. I'd like to add a blackstone and basalt overlay onto stone as well. Same with crying obsidian. I think could be cool if it's leaking out onto it. And then these all I think could be nice having some sort of overlays. Not really sure. Don't know if this needs an overlay. May not actually do this one. And then lastly, we have these types of overlays. So currently there's only a stone brick type of overlay, and what I would like to do is make some different variations based on the different textures we have. I also want to add a few more variations of stone brick textures. And so we're going to have some overlays that do this, that like bring in an extra little bit extender, like brick extender. I think that could look pretty nice. And then I would like to do the same for mossy to extend over and have a little bit of mossy stone brick coming over. And cracked, I think that could be looking pretty decent. These are all the chiseled blocks. And so currently, if you stack them vertically, you get these type of textures. These are all, except for those, I guess, these are all draft textures currently. And so I will be changing them to match our trap doors and also changing them to match our chiseled blocks because, yeah, they just need to match. And I want to have original texture. So I will be altering all of these. And so this is kind of what to expect from all the overlay textures. We're going to be going real deep into them. I think they're going to be really fun. And yeah, I think honestly the other one would be these are the furnace textures side by side. I think it looks pretty decent. Yeah, if you have any feedback on any of these textures, let me know. The only other thing would be this is currently a draft GUI that I didn't actually realize was in there until like earlier today. So I thought this could be interesting to do like a GUI of the chest and try and make it a little bit different than this. So I thought that could be kind of fun to tackle as well. And so that is all of the texture work that I have done so far. And this is all that we are going to be doing in the next couple of weeks, hopefully, to be able to bide some time while I can't make videos and stuff. So hopefully you guys are excited for that. Yeah, I think that's going to have to do it for this episode. Sorry for there's no building or anything that happened. But just needed to get an update out there and wanted to give you sort of updates on the texture pack as well. So sorry for any lack of content next couple of weeks. Hopefully you understand. If you have any thoughts on future series or anything, side series to do, just let me know down below in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.